New York City.
WVFP.
Energy and charisma.
God, well, anywhere beneath 14th Street.
And the fun and the cultural element.
It's like this self-induced schizophrenia.
Well, I just thought you might not like what I've done and want to do something about it.
Sorry, I never know when I'm going to get in trouble.
WVFP.
Okay, welcome everybody to Jerry Gogosian's AM Art Radio. Due to my emotional problems, daddy issues, art school debt, it's like left me with this bottomless pit for attention and this need to get into some kind of party that I wasn't invited to. And so I started an Instagram account as a seeming outsider and posed as a man, and all of a sudden people started calling me a genius and loving me and giving me all the attention I always already knew I deserved.
Jerry Gogosian saved my life. Then there came a day where Jerry tried to kill me.
WVFP New York City presents The Story of Jerry Gogosian, a.k.a. the artist Hilde Lynn Helphenstein, self-proclaimed internet celebrity and art world sensation.
I'm your host, Hilde Lynn Helphenstein. Okay, well, let's start at the very beginning.
I used to tell my mom, I'm an actress. And she would say, no, you're an artist. And I've literally had this conflict in my brain for like my entire life where I'm like, am I an actress who's playing the role as an artist? Or am I an artist who plays around with being an actress?
In 2017, Hilde Lynn told an art magazine in Los Angeles that she had been raised in and out of the country, including the suburbs of Barcelona, Siberia, Russia, and that she had gone to an anarchist school in Norway. Officially, Hilde is listed as being from California, but she always repped South Florida, which is where we find her in 2005, waiting tables and going to community college for her eventual move to the San Francisco Art Institute in California. In 2016, she moved to Los Angeles where she opened a gallery called Hilde. Hilde ran the gallery. She worked at Larry Gagosian's Los Angeles location as a receptionist, and she pursued her own artwork. In 2018, Hilde Lynn's life would change forever.
I was in upstate New York in Hudson, officiating a wedding for two very dear friends, standing barefoot in the grass. And unbeknownst to me, I was bit by a tick, and I contracted a very rare disease called typhus rickettsia. But I also went temporarily blind.
Oh my
deaf.
gosh.
I lost use of my hands and my feet. So that illness landed me in bed for 9+ months, which meant I had to close my art gallery.
There, recovering in her bedroom, Hilde invented a personality by combining Larry Gagosian, arguably one of the most important art dealers of the last century, and whom she used to work for, and she combined that with Jerry Saltz, the New York City Art World commentator, the Art World critic, Jerry Saltz. She put those together and came up with Jerry Gogosian. She went on the internet and she found a wig of Andy Warhol, a photograph from the sale at Christie's in the 1990s, I think it was. And that's where her avatar came from, and she started posting anonymously on Instagram. She was posting Art World memes. First one was in September of 2018, and it didn't make a big splash. Over time, she put out a bunch of memes, September, October. They were kind of your basic 2021 COVID memes, if you know what I mean. But it got rolling pretty quickly after a couple months. She had I think some of the first ones that were big for her were the Mike Tyson meme. She did some puppy dog Art World memes. And then she did a meme, that finally got her over 1,000 likes. It was the Chloe Savinity meme, because internet and Art World. But the Jerry Gogosian account started to become not just for criticism and memes and laughs, but also for gossip.
And so all of a sudden, my inbox became like a confessional / tattletale box where people were, sending me internal documents, sending me gossip, sending me this, sending me that, kind of hoping that I would, divulge.
No one was safe from Jerry Gogosian. Not even her buddy Jerry Saltz. Not even her namesake was safe. And she was kind of going after people, especially people she thought, men were doing wrong in the New York City art world. In March of 2020, it was reported that a Gogosian gallery director, Sam Orlovsky, had been fired from his job. A lot of people blamed Jerry's online campaign that singled him out and marshaled women together with their stories. The Jerry Gogosian account was having real-world impact. People were telling her secrets, trade secrets, people's personal secrets. Let's face it, it had become kind of dangerous. And this, who could really let this go on? Yeah, right? Art writer Kinney Satcher was the one to dox Jerry Gogosian and tell everybody that it was Hilde finally. Although in his defense, he says he got it from an anonymous internet, and imagine that, an anonymous internet handle on the internet, and some people claim that anonymous internet handle was actually him. So nobody really knows what happened there, but Kinney Satcher is the one who ends up doxing her, and there's all sorts of articles written about it, and normally this would take a person down, wouldn't it? I mean, a lot of people were hoping it was going to. Jerry Gogosian, the account at least, had made a lot of enemies. But, can you name another time in internet history where a critical account that was making waves in an industry? Can you name another time where when that account was doxed, it ended up being a hot, charismatic chick? Well, that's what happened. Not only was she critical and sarcastic and she had the gift of satire, but when they doxed her, everybody found out, well, she's also very charismatic and she's also good in front of the camera and she's an attractive person and she has a lot of charisma. And basically, Jerry Gogosian came into her own by being doxed. 3 months later, she came back. She had an art show. And basically what we got was Jerry Gogosian totally unleashed.
So I started this TV show because I just felt like I wasn't getting enough attention on the internet. 94,000 followers isn't really considered a lot in the Instagram universe. And, due to my emotional problems, daddy issues, art school debt, it's left me with this bottomless pit for attention and this need to get into some kind of party that I wasn't invited to. And since the art world's the hardest party to get into, I just figured I would try, and that didn't seem to work. So then I started an Instagram account as a seeming outsider and posed as a man, and all of a sudden people started calling me a genius and loving me and giving me all the attention I always already knew I deserved.
Then Hilde started the Art Smack podcast, and then she started the Jerry Gogosian report, and she started making viral internet videos.
Juxtapose
liminal spaces, Gesamtkunstwerk. Everything is a dialogue or a deconstruction, an interplay between a study in contrasts, subverting the traditional narrative. It also tends to transcend boundaries. Everything is an interrogation. Everything. They love the word aesthetic, conceptual matrices. Things often quietly allow for an appreciation, deepening the limits of material resignation. What the fuck does that mean?
By the summer of 2021 and into 2022, Jerry was everywhere, especially at the art fairs where she got a lot of notice for doing kind of street interviews and art reviews.
Say a Rothko over the phone and we're bidding. What would I do? What would I be saying to my client? How would I be moving my hands? What are we doing?
What are we doing? We're looking very serious because this is a very serious transaction. Mm-hmm.
By the fall of 2022, Jerry Gogosian had a little show at Sotheby's called Suggested Followers. Now, maybe it was just an internet thing and then, the show didn't really sell well or whatever. But here she was, 3 years, maybe a little more. How long had it been? 3 or 4 years since she had started an anonymous internet account, and now here she was at Sotheby's. Like her or not, you had to admit she'd come a long way.
Welcome to my kingdom. I'm Jerry Gogosian. Sotheby's has invited me to put together the show Suggested Followers.
Hilde was getting noticed. She was becoming a brand ambassador. And she was, flying around to all of the parties.
It's no secret that I'm coming to Art Basel in Paris. Unfortunately, I had to miss you in London. I have a little golden Easter egg.
Hilde was building up her brand by working with young artists, doing viral videos, doing artist interviews, and generally being everywhere. She was at all the parties and all of the conferences and all of the spring break, summer break art show madness. She was getting engaged, and she was getting signed with the UTA, and she was graduating from NYU. But behind the scenes, there was a lot of stress. And things were starting to crack a little. You see, a lot of people in the industry still didn't really like Hilde. And there was still an abrasiveness going on. Let's face it, Hilde said a lot of things that people didn't like. She had a lot of comments. She was defending Melania Trump's nude modeling work. She was saying a lot of things people didn't like, and furthermore, Hilde was still using the platform of Jerry Gogosian to talk about things that she thought was inappropriate in the art world, people's personal lives, as well as their financial matters.
Creep on in, on in, on in.
She have ever made enough money. If you do all the calculations that you just made about how much of all those booths cost, and all the manpower, and all the art handlers, and all the people that have to sit there and do this and to do that, and create invoices, and then create the work and get the work to the right, you cannot tell me that that's just a super entrepreneurial 29-year-old.
But we don't know about her financial situation. Maybe she's one of those rare cases. Maybe she is, and then it's the greatest thing.
Oh my God. If she did well on Wall Street, girl, give me a call. I will invest. If you did that well, please do let me know. Or maybe it's crypto money.
Finally, the walls cracked. Jerry Gogosian called it quits. Her relationship broke up. she moved back to Florida and she threw in the towel on the Jerry Gogosian account. The stress of living an internet persona and a double life had been too much. She signed off. It was over.
Is because they're like so angry at the fact that like the thought police like came in and demanded that everybody think exactly the same.
And so that was it. Jerry Gogosian was out of here. The whole thing had become too bizarre for her and too much to handle.
On one hand, Jerry Gogosian saved my life. And then there came a day where Jerry tried to kill me.
But then a funny thing happened. Hilde had quit and gone away. But people started to think differently about her. Maybe it was the tearful videos now deleted that she put up when she left. Maybe it was the expression of regret at some of the things she'd done. Maybe the industry had just put her through enough. Maybe her humiliation ritual was finally over. Whatever it was, after Jerry deactivated, people missed her. What are we going to do? Go back to the same old thing without Jerry? Causing trouble? All of a sudden, the people who had clamored to shake her down were calling her on the phone. People didn't want her to go away. They were asking her what's next. They were extending offers to her. And so, after throwing in the gauntlet and letting the whole thing tear her life down, Jerry decided to come back.
Welcome back to Art Smack. I'm your host, Hilde Lynn Helphenstein, formerly known as Jerry Gogosian, or in some circles still known as that. I'm back home.
Woke up this morning, not that long ago, to a Forbes article that came out about me and my career in the arts by Alexandra Bregman. It is kind of amazing is that I've been very generously invited to Basel by the Basel Tourism Board. And how cool is that?
Hilde was on top of the world again, even more so than before, finally being accepted by some of the institutions who had never really come along for the ride until now. There were offers and there were articles and the projects were pouring in. It felt like Hilde was back, this time for good. She was a star now and it felt like she was going to be around forever. But things don't always work out the way you planned.
Police are still trying to understand the death of an American woman in what is considered Brazil's most luxurious hotel. A death shrouded in mystery.